Hello artists! Today we're going to be creating a tissue paper collage inspired by the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. We've already drawn the flowers and traced them with black Sharpie. Now it's time to start doing the tissue paper collage in the background only, just to begin with. Well, what I need you to think about is what colors you eventually want to put on your flower. You're going to have three choices. You can either use the warm colors, which are shades of red, orange, and yellow, or you can use the cool colors, which are shades of purple, blue, and green, or you can use neutrals, which would be black, white, and brown. Well, for my flower, I'm deciding that I would like to use the warm colors. So that means I don't want to use any of the warm colors on my background. Otherwise, it would just blend in. So instead, I'm choosing to use the cool colors in my background since I know I want to use warms later on. You're going to get yourself a little bowl of cut up tissue paper. You also are working on top of painting paper. You have a napkin, a specific glue brush. These aren't painting brushes, we use these specifically for glue. And then also a little cup of glue, and all I've done is water it down a little bit. What you're going to do is simply dip and wipe. We're working in the background. You can see I've already started a corner here. And you're just going to paint a layer of glue on the background. Now you don't want to paint the whole background at first, because by the time you get back up here, if you're gluing down here, it's going to dry and then the tissue paper won't stick. So just do a little chunk at a time. You can lay your paintbrush on your napkin, and then you're just going to take these squares and start to fill in the background space. Well, because the flowers have an organic line to them, what you're going to have to do is try to get right up to them, but you might overlap the flower just a little. Not much, but just a little. You can also overlap the tissue paper if you need to. So for this piece, instead of going straight, I'm going to turn it on its corner to fill in that little background spot. And it's okay that it overlapped my other tissue paper. You don't want to purposely keep stacking them right on top of each other, but it's okay if they overlap a little. You also don't want to have any white space by the time it's over with. So you're really making sure that you're keeping your tissue paper very close to the flower, maybe even overlapping it a little bit, and you're keeping your tissue paper very close together, maybe overlapping it a little bit. And this is why we're using tissue paper, because it kind of looks like a stained glass window. The two colors kind of blend together and make a new color. You're going to continue to fill in until you've filled in that whole spot that you just glued. Notice the tissue paper is running off the edge of the paper too. That is absolutely fine. We can cut that off later after it has dried. I have filled in my little section here. The last thing we want to do is put another layer of glue on top. So we dip and wipe. This will keep the tissue paper nice and flat to the paper. You want it to be fairly wet. Maybe make it look like it just took a bath. And make sure the tissue paper is actually really flat onto the paper. Now the tissue paper has dye in it, and it might get on your brush and get a little on your flower. That's okay, because we'll cover that up when we choose our flower color. You're going to repeat these steps until you have finished the whole background of the flower. And you can glue right over your name. The black Sharpie will show through the tissue paper. And that's what it looks like when you're all finished gluing the background pieces for your tissue paper collage. There are no white spots left on the background. I've done slight overlapping. I've let the tissue paper run off of the edges, and I made sure to put another coat of glue on top of the tissue paper.